So I decided to make a short little video just on how to upgrade the firmware on the Mega-S. So I've already kind of jumped ahead a step or two, but it's going to be pretty quick and straightforward. It's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to link to a Thingiverse thing. I take no credit for the firmware or anything like that, but I'm going to link to that. The instructions are all there as well, but I just felt like I should probably do something for people that are a little bit more visual. So what we're going to do in Cura to get this firmware in there, and let me show you actually what this file consists of. So there are several different files that are included. There are a few files for if you're using upgraded TMC 2208 drivers, and then in my case I'm using stock drivers, so this is the file that I want that says stock driver. Okay, so once we have the file downloaded, back in Cura, we're going to do the settings, printer, manage printers, and make sure the correct printer is selected. Now from everything I'm reading, I could just use the i3 Mega profile, even though this is the Mega-S, so that's what I've been doing. And click update firmware, upload custom firmware, and then in my case, this is saved on the desktop. So I'm going to go there and select the firmware file. Pretty straightforward up to this point. Once this is done, there's a couple of commands that we're going to send to the printer just to make sure everything's calibrated correctly, everything's saved correctly, but I'll be right back once this is done and I'll show you what that is. So here we are, firmware update is complete, and our printer is letting us know also that it has reset itself. It gave me a filament error, but it's probably just because it restarted, kind of rebooted there. So we're just gonna hit close, close. We can actually close this out completely. And once all that is done, we're gonna run pronterface. I know that I'm on column 5 because I've double checked it. You'll hit connect, and here's how you know that you have connected to the printer. You actually get something back. So referring to the PDF that comes along with the firmware, there's a few commands we have to do, and on the Mega-S it looks like there's a few additional commands to set everything correctly. So we're going to go ahead and try those. Make sure everything runs the way it's supposed to. And just do this so that I can keep both of them on my screen at the same time here. Alright, so I could barely read that, but it should be good enough. So first command is M502. We'll hit send. That's telling us that the hard-coded values have been loaded, which is exactly what we wanted to do, and then M500 to save those values. And it says setting stored. Perfect. So next step is to set the proper extruder steps, because this is an upgraded extruder from the i3 Mega. So we'll put in this command, M92 space E384. We'll send that as well. And then what do we got here? So M203 E30. And there's an explanation of what all these do in the PDF. You could probably see it in the video itself. So we're going to send that command. Then we've got a lower retraction acceleration. So M204 R1500.00. I'll send that as well. And finally, M500 again to save all the stuff that we just sent to the printer. and it says setting stored. So great, that's all we needed to do. If we want to double check that, we can just M503, and that'll read back everything that is stored into the printer. So now you see all this information is populated. Steps per unit, which is right here, showing me E384. So we do know that that saved properly. What else we got here? So there's actually a lot of information in here. I'm not going to go through all of it, but I do know that it's saved properly just from seeing that the extruder steps are correct. So once that's done, you can disconnect, and the first thing that you're probably going to want to do is use the mesh leveling on the bed, because it's kind of one of the major perks of using this firmware. There's also instructions on how to do all of that in this PDF. I highly recommend it, and again, I'll link to it in the description. It gives you all the information that you're going to need to run this firmware. So that's all there is to it. I hope to actually make another video in the near future where what I want to do is actually swap these little springs for solid printed pieces, so that the bed's not moving around and everything is just controlled with the firmware and the mesh leveling on the bed. So we'll see how that works out. Stay tuned.